We are in Tsurumai Park in Nagoya, Japan, in the central area, kind of right in the middle. And it is cherry blossom viewing now, at least at this part of the country. Hanami literally means flower viewing, Hanami. And this is a huge cultural festival in Japan, but it doesn't happen at the same time. It starts in Okinawa probably around February and moves its way up to Hokkaido as the cherry blossoms bloom. And it is something that the Japanese meteorological agency follows and puts on the news. It shows what's going on around the country. It's a time when people gather and get together, co-workers, families, and they eat and they drink and have a good time in the park. But that's not the way it always was. This festival is actually centuries old, goes back roughly to about 710, the Nara period, probably before that, maybe during the Nara period. And it was really for the imperial court. It wasn't for the common people. And that's the way it stayed for a while. And in fact, in the beginning, it wasn't cherry blossoms, it was plums, ume, that were beautiful. So they thought this is a cultured thing to do. We're going to view the plums. We're going to write poetry about them. We're going to enjoy the beauty of nature. And eventually in the Heian period, or by the Heian period, it was something that was appreciated by the imperial court, the sakura, the cherry blossoms. So now we're at the Sakura Festival, the Cherry Blossom Viewing Festival. Now, the first time we heard the word Hanami was in a book called The Tale of Genji, Genji no Monogatari, which was written by Murasaki Shikibu. She was a female courtier, highly educated in the Heian period, which went from, as historians say, 794 to 1185. And it was a period where Chinese culture and influence, kind of not necessarily reached its zenith, but it was very, very evident. Women in court were actually educated. And the tale of Genji, Genji no Monogatari, is actually one of the first novels ever written on the planet. To go to a woman in Japan, that's quite fascinating and quite remarkable. Now, as time went on, daimyo, the feudal lords, started doing these cherry blossom viewing, I guess, parties. And again, it was all about poetry and the beauty of nature. And then eventually, it went down to the samurai, the warrior class, kind of growing their culture. And as time went on, in the Azuchi Momoyama period, Hideyoshi Toyotomi, he was one of the three unifiers, along with Oda Nobunaga and Tokugawa Ieyasu. Toyotomi Hideyoshi wanted his daimyo and samurai to be cultured. He encouraged tea ceremonies, sado. He encouraged shodo, calligraphy. He encouraged ikebana, flower arrangement. And along with that, hanami, cherry blossom viewing. And writing poetry, and appreciating the beauty of nature and being cultured, not only as a warrior, but as an individual. And as time went on, Tokugawa Ieyasu finally unified most of the country. And his great-grandson, Tokugawa Yoshimune, he declared that one of his edicts said we're going to plant sakura trees all over the country so that the common people can appreciate Hanami. Now, this might have been also because that the imperial court felt that people weren't living enough of a moral life, or in the least, we're going to bring some culture to the commoner. Kabuki plays, for example, they were considered really below the imperial court. They were below the shoguns. So what they did was have these trees planted around the country near temples and shrines, because they knew people were going to go to these public spaces. They were going to go and pray. And so little by little, the commoners got into Hanami. But they also brought their habits of these entertainment districts and things like that. And so now what we see in modern Japan today, that appreciation for Hanami, but it's really a chance to go out and party, hang out with your friends and family, and have a good time.